Okay, it's time for race day, everybody, of the penultimate race of the season. Only 2 rounds to go now. Of course, we want to make sure we secure that 6th place in the championship. Be nice if Dreyfus could hold on to that 7th place in the drivers as well. But it's just about maintaining that, and maybe we can get a couple of good results on the way as well. So, of course, let's start with our knowledge slots. Actually, let's look at the weather first. Might be dry, might not be. We don't know yet. Quick fixes. Marchesa has obviously has improved his relationship with his mechanic enough. That's a new one. Useful, we hope not to be fixing any parts, but useful if we do, obviously. A nurse and race trim, as usual, for Dreyfus. Right, let's see how the strategies ended up then. Strategies, setups. 91. 91's good enough. It's definitely an improvement. You see, 3 setup changes from 80, 82 to 84, so it's a big jump, and one we desperately needed for him. I think we'll start on soft tyres again. How long they expect to last? 10 to 12 laps, so we'll fuel him to the brim. And with Marchetta, 93, not quite as big an improvement as I wished, but good enough. Setup's not perfect this time out, but we can definitely deal with it. 90s is good. It's also starting on the soft tyres, and yet again it works out for us quite well last time. We'll go on the attack and with overtake right from the off. Of course, we need to get higher than 6th now because of our new sponsors. Previously it was better than 9th. It will probably be a push today, but with any luck, parts should be a bit more reliable than last time. So I'm hoping for a smooth race. So let's get underway, shall we? Okay, getting ready to get underway then. Dreyfus in our lowest grid position of the year, I think. An unfortunate problem of being so high in the championship. Marchetta starting in 8th. Has maintained his place into turn 1. Dreyfus has lost a place down into 15th. I'm going to keep an eye on that forecast. It's looking pretty overcast as well. Marchetta making a move around the outside into the chicane and finds his way up to 17th. Dreyfus battling hard back there. Has managed to get a 14th place back. Marchetta making another move down the inside up to 7th. Great start from him then. And Dreyfus 2 cars almost into the chicane down the inside of Valdez and gets him into that corner in through the chicane in 12th place then. Marchetta continuing his march up the grid. He's now up to 5th place then. We'll keep the overtake. We'll go back to push. We don't want to overheat these tyres. Very good start, and I think that's what we've been missing, is going fully on the attack as soon as the race gets underway. Dreyfus has been overtaken again by Valdez, trying to find a way through. Right down there in the midfield where it's a bit scrappy. She find a way through on the inside? Nope. As long as she holds on to 14th. Oh! Sabedo going around the outside into the chicane. Got the inside line for the second half, and Dreyfus down to 15th. It's a bit of a poor start. Still no rain forecast, so we're looking good for a dry race again. Marchetta, fastest lap of the race. Up there in 5th, he's absolutely flying today. Perfect start. Tyres looking okay. Another 3 or 4 laps, and we'll be looking to make our first stop of the race. Marchetta now pressuring Mello. Can he have a look? No, getting closer though. And this is the thing of getting through those slower cars early. Marchetta probably out of position in the championship, to be fair. He's not really performed as well as the car could. And he's definitely got a quicker car than those around him and needs to make use of it early here. Let's go back and have a look with Dreyfus. She's made her way back up to 14th once again. Pressuring Valdez. And makes the move into turn 1. Now she needs to get a move on. Got clear of that little squabble of cars. I need to see what she can do now. Marchesa still in 5th. Right on the back of Milo now though. Can he have a look? Down into this right-hander, not quite. All over the back of him though. Dembele and Calvinanti are closing in though, as Dreyfus has made another place up into 13th. Has got past Johnsdottir. Can she have a look at El Sadat? She can. Oh, pretty close. Luckily no damage to the car. Losing ground all the way down the pit straight though. Holds on to that 13th. Again, trying to make a move. Just take your time. You can see a big gap developing between 8th and 9th place, and Dreyfus really needs to get into that gap as soon as possible. About nearly just under 3 laps of fuel left. Tyres worn pretty heavily. And Marchesa, I think, has finally got past Milo. He has. And now having a look, trying to get round Rogers. Marchesa has had a cracking start. Oh, there seems to be a massive incident back here. I don't know what happened. Everybody held up. Maybe it's just a chicane that made it look like they're being held up. Dreyfus really stuck in this traffic now. I think we're going to bring her in on this lap, get her out of this traffic, and hopefully use the pace. Just double check it's still going to stay dry. It is. So we'll fuel it up to the maximum again. Parts looking good, everything's still over 50%. So she can pit on this lap and put those medium tyres on. Marchesa, meanwhile, up into 3rd. Wondering if we should pit him on this lap as well. What's the fuel looking like? Is he going to have enough to get round one more lap? I'm wondering where he's going to come back out the pits if we do pit him. If we keep this kind of fuel up, he's not. He's right up there in 2nd now though. I think we're going to pit him on this lap as well. Put him on the medium tyres as well. Everything looking okay there. Maximise the fuel. Hopefully we'll be able to get him in and back out before Dreyfus comes in. It's a bit risky, but he's running a little low on fuel. In he comes. He does follow everybody in this lap then. Let's hope this pit stop goes okay. I'm worried about... I think Dreyfus is going to get held up. Oh, she is. We've mucked that up. Not too much. Probably only lost a second or two. Marchesa now coming back out of the pits in 9th, but still in that net 2nd place, I think. There was a problem with the fueling though. Moaning a little bit. A good stop for Dreyfus. No, she's not too happy with having to sit behind Marchesa. We'll get them to push straight out the pits because they need to undercut those that are pitted afterwards. We'll go back to overtake on the fuel. Actually, no, we'll go to high on the fuel on both. We used it a bit quickly last time. So, Marchesa in a net 2nd place. Still. Dreyfus, we won't know till everybody's pitted where she's going to shake out. Might have lost a couple of positions because of having to wait, but we had to pit them both on that lap as Marchesa now gets back up into 6th place. Oh, cars behind gluing together as someone comes out the pits there. That's helped Marchesa out an awful lot, and he's definitely in that net 2nd place. Dreyfus is up to 15th, makes a move down the inside of VN for 14th, and we are 2 of the only cars on mediums. There's a couple of others, but most people opting for the soft tyres this time round, which is interesting. I think we're going to have to put that fuel back. We want to get the distance out of these medium tyres. 1st and 2nd pitting now, so does Marchesa hold on to 2nd place? We're about to find out. He does. Right, net 2nd place for Marchesa then. Having a cracking race. Where does Dreyfus end up? He's going to take one more position up to 13th then. So hasn't really lost too much ground. Maybe a little bit of ground to those cars ahead. From having to wait for Marchesa, but it's not too bad at all. And now we're into very much the second phase of this race. Manchester coming under pressure here. I think we have to put the fuel back up. We're losing it a little bit here. Dreyfus drops down to 15th. I think Manchester actually lost 2 positions there. It's a bit of a shame. Now this is one of those do you don't you situations. The medium tyre is definitely obviously going to last longer. But if we keep using the higher fuel mode, we're going to run out of fuel before the tyres run out. Mind you, they're in a pretty bad way already, to be honest. Pushing isn't help. We'll keep an eye on the tyre temperature. You don't want to use them too quickly. Mind you, they're definitely wearing slower than a lot of the soft tyre runners, so it's not all bad, but Manchester is starting to go backwards now. Sabedo's definitely come from back where Dreyfus was, so I think this is the quicker cars coming back through. Not such a problem. Dreyfus in some clean air now. And we've got to expect these cars to be slower on the medium tyres, that's not a problem. We just need to concentrate on getting the distance out of them. But if we're being honest, the fuel's going to run out pretty quickly. When I go back to medium fuel, we need to get these the distance. Otherwise there's been no real use on being on these medium tyres. Soft tyre runners definitely losing grip now. And we'd expect Manchester and Dreyfus to be able to come back through a bit towards the end of this stint. Manchester's definitely made up some ground on Santa Ana. Let's see if he can get close enough down the pit straight. Just 10 laps to go now. I think we're only going to want to make one more stop. And I think it will be the soft tyres we go on as Manchester gets passed with ease by Albola around the outside. He's struggling a bit here. It's going to stay dry, it looks like, till the end of the race, which is good news. See how Dreyfus is doing. She's starting to catch that pack ahead again now. Battling with Valdez though. Valdez just about gets ahead. I think we're going to have to take the pain here. Have to take the pain to be able to put the soft tyres on the last stint. And hopefully be quicker. I think a lot of these soft tyre runners are probably going to go onto the medium tyres to the end of the race. So hopefully that's where we're going to make up our advantage. Well, they've got to go on the medium tyres because I think they have to use both. I'm pretty sure it's the same as real life rules in that respect. Dreyfus is still in this fight for the top 10. There's a lot of cars ahead. She just needs to be patient now. Haven't got these medium tyres as far as I'd like though. As Marchetta drops back to 6th. I was expecting the soft tyre runners to pit sort of the lap before this or this lap. We're only going to get one more lap after this. Maybe used a bit too much fuel at the beginning. That's going to hurt us. Right, everybody starting to pit now, or a couple of cars. Just gets back up into 5th. They're all in. Can we get one more lap after this out of the cars? I don't think so. I think we'd have to slow down too much. We'll have to see as we get towards the end of the lap and make that decision. They've all gone on to soft tyres. That is surprising. I'm wondering if they don't have to use both compounds, which is pretty weird. Either that or they are making another stop. I think we're going to have to try and get Dreyfus round another lap. Marchetta's going to have to pit onto the soft tyres. Fuel, max that out. Give us 8.69 and give us a little bit to burn. Yeah, reliability is looking good for this race. Marchetta's going to come in. Dreyfus, she's going to have to go down to low fuel. It's the only way she's going to get round. Let's hope she's got enough in the tank. Also going to go onto the soft tyres. Parts looking good as well. And max out that fuel as well. We'll go to 8 laps. Plenty to burn that way. God, I hope she can get round. We're in trouble if she can't. Marchetta comes back out from the pit lane in that group of cars then. He's going to have fresher soft tyres, fuel to burn. We'll turn that fuel all the way up now. Let's go to neutral. Don't want to use the tyres up too early. Will Dreyfus get round? Oh, it's going to be close. I'm so worried now. Come on, just round the chicane. Down the pit straight. Oh, she's made it in. Oh, thank God for that. May have lost some time doing so, but got an extra lap out of the strategy. Marchetta complaining about the brakes there. Oh, it's close out the pits. Can she hold on to that position? She can. Good job. Right. So 6 laps to go. Can we make some progress? Marchetta's lost a lot of ground all of a sudden. He's right back there in the midfield now, which is interesting. Let's get him to start pushing. Got to keep an eye on that fuel, of course. So, realistically, Dreyfus needs to make some progress pretty quickly. Should be targeting that 10th position Marchetta's in. Marchetta, realistically, 4th is possible if he gets a move on. I'm very surprised that people have put the soft tyres on again. That's really confused me. And that medium, with any luck, they'll run out of tyres and have to pit again. It's unlikely though. It's a bit of a shame though. Let's put the fuel back a little bit, just to make sure we can stay in a higher fuel mode for longer. 4 laps to go when they cross the line this time. Marchetta is starting to make progress. Dreyfus still trying to get past Valdez and needs to do so as soon as possible to make this strategy work. Marchetta has fuel and tyre life to his advantage, but it's not enough. I don't know. I really don't know. A lot of the front tyre runners quite low on tyre life, nearly under 50%, but they should be enough to get them through 4 laps though. Marchetta really needs to get moving here as Dreyfus moves herself up into 13th place. Finally has that move done and now needs to get after that top 10 as quickly as she can. Marchetta making progress. Can he make a move on Dembele into turn 1? Not quite good enough on the brakes that time. Look at the gap Marchetta's pulled out in 14th already. Dreyfus, sorry. He's definitely got the speed. I would suspect Marchetta's got the speed as well if he can make it through this field. Keep an eye on the fuel. We are going to have to turn it down at some point, but not just yet. We're definitely going to end this race on the aggressive. On the attack. Will it be enough? Marchetta needs to get past Dembele as soon as possible. There's going to be 2 laps remaining when we cross the line, so we can probably go to overtake on the fuel mode. Tyre life looking good. We're going to get Marchetta to go on the attack as he makes a move. His brakes are a bit of an issue now. Have to ignore that, but he's up to 8th. Dreyfus. Tyre life not looking brilliant, but we're going to go on the attack as well. We need to give it everything now as Dreyfus moves into 11th place. Marchetta, he's got brake issues. Is he still going to have enough inherent speed in the car to move forward though? We shall have to find out. We have to go back to push because the tyres are getting pretty hot. Wonder if we pushed a bit too hard here, we might start losing grip. We definitely don't have as big an advantage over the rest of the field as we did. So we move on to the final lap. Marchetta can see that 6th place of our sponsor target. Dreyfus can see the top 10. Are we going to have enough? 1.4 is the gap for Marchetta. 1.2 for Dreyfus, 1.1 for Dreyfus, 1.3 for Marchetta. We're taking the time out, but are we taking it out quick enough? Dreyfus is just 0.6 of a second, 0.4 of a second behind El Sadat. I don't know, Marchetta's not going to have enough. He's going to cross the line in 8th. We'll go back to see if Dreyfus can find a way in the top 10, down into the chicane. Not quite enough. Marchetta did finish 7th. He somehow took 7th. Dreyfus finishes 11th. It's a fairly good race result. It was nice to be on the attack at the end of the race for a change. We're normally defending for our lives. It's 1 place off our sponsor objective, which is a shame. Antonov takes the win for Vexala Motorsport. That's, I'm pretty sure, his first win of the season. And a pretty unusual win, I think. But all in all, that was a strong race. 2-stop strategy for the whole of the field. Most people did 3 stops on the softs around us. And it might have hurt us, but it definitely gave us the advantage towards the end of the race. So I'm still happy with that strategy. I think we maybe punched above our weight because of it. But 7th and 11th is a good team result. No risk of rule break, so we'll be through that cleanly. There are 2 demotions from Sabedo and Calvacanti, which means we move up to 5th and 9th. And that's Marchetta's 2nd best result of the season. And we do actually hit the target because of it, so we'll get our sponsor bonus and a whole load of points. That's a great race. Dreyfus, unfortunately though, drops back to 9th. She's only 1 point off that 7th place though, so still in it. And Marchetta moves to 12th. And it's very possible he could get into the top 10 in the final race if he has a blinder. But all in all, a fantastic race. And that means that the Constructors' 6th is almost certain now. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's secured. It's about 40 odd points is the maximum gain someone can make, and I don't think ZRT Autosport are going to get a 1-2. So I'm pretty sure that's 6th place confirmed. 5th place is going to be a pretty tough ask, but we've definitely met our objective, I think. Marchetta, points mean prizes, but I want wins. Well, it's a small part of me that's starting to reconsider now for next year. That's considering he has he's getting all the bad parts pretty much, and he still pulled that incredible result out. I don't know, we'll have to make the decision. I'd love to hear from you guys to see if you think he is worth another shot next season, or if we should bring someone else in. Dreyfus continuing to improve, even though she didn't have the best result. A big change to the bank balance then. We're now in the positive, 1.4 million. That's good news for us. And 9th and 12th in the drivers and 6th in the constructors then. And that is going to be it from this episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. We shall start the build up and the practice to the final race of the season in the Black Sea on Saturday. As always, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Makes me know you're enjoying the series and helps me get the motivation to continue making it. and also help and advice for next season. I'd love to start seeing that filter in now, as we really want to push for that promotion next year. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in a few days' time. These battles have often been contained on single racetracks. Now, it's going global. The chosen chariot for this is the Red Bull 2016. Brilliant in the bends, but often hampered by its Renault engine. Lacking power on the... Sorry? What do you mean? They make watches. Oh, okay. Can they make up for the deficit on the streets with their Tag Heuer engine? Sauber, a team that often I get confused as to whether they have overachieved or underachieved. A team of humble beginnings, founded by Peter Sauber in the 1970s. He would eventually work his way up the ladder to win back-to-back Le Mans races in 1988 and 1999 with the incredible Sauber Mercedes C9, a car that was relatively unchanged between the 2 years, such was its dominance. It was then that Peter Sauber decided to take a foray into Formula 1.